Hello, welcome to a new episode of Convert on Shopify. My name is Pancho Mendiola, and in the last episode we spoke about what is A/B testing, the basic concept of A/B testing. And in this one, I'm going to focus on answering the question, is A/B testing a good fit for me currently in my own business, all right? So, we're going to give some examples and some parameters so you can say, okay, I think I am ready to start A/B testing, or maybe I should do some other stuff first. And also what kind of experiments you can run depending on where you're at with your data. So to summarize all of this, the most important thing you need to know, first of all, to get into the A/B testing world is how much data you have available. And the single most important KPI or metric in this case is traffic, okay? So A/B testing relies on literally getting people into a site or a funnel and then figuring out what works better than another. And in order to have successful tests or successful experiments, we do need certain volume of data. So, the accuracy can actually help you take or make better decisions. So in this case, the parameters that we're going to be focusing on is traffic. How much traffic do you have? And in these cases, what type of tests you can do according to the traffic that you currently have in your site. So let's start with the first one. So let's say that your site has less than 10,000 visitors per month. And just as a disclaimer, obviously this don't take these exact numbers as a rule, okay? These are just parameters so you can see where you're at. But let's say that you have less than 10,000 visitors per month. This, if you have a 1.5% in conversion rate, which is mostly the average in the whole world, let's say that you're having maybe 150 orders per month. So if you're into e-commerce, if you're selling through Shopify, this means that you probably are a startup. You just started your site. If you're a B2B site, maybe 10,000 visitors per month is not that bad. I mean, we know that B2B sites don't need huge amounts of traffic in order to be successful. But with DTC or direct-to-consumer stores or sites, we do need a larger amount of traffic because of the ticket average and conversion rate. So anyways, let's say that you have less than 10,000. You still can do A/B testing with less than 10,000, but you have to focus on certain aspects, okay? First of all, what I would recommend is, before even thinking about A/B testing, is investing in a little more in pay-per-click strategies. So Facebook ads, or now known as Meta ads. Sorry, I can't get used to it still, but Meta business or whatever it's called. So, and also Google ads. So Go a little heavier on your ad spend so you can increase your traffic. But also, let's say that you already have these 10,000 visitors per month. You can focus on your main sites, okay? You don't want, if you have less than 10,000, you don't want to go all the way down into your conversion funnel to test. Why? This is very simple math, okay? So let's say that you have an average store with less than 10,000 visitors per month, and your conversion rate is 1.5%. Okay. Normally, this means that your conversion funnel starts with your add to cart metric or KPI. Normally, these stores would have around 7 or 8% in add to carts. Okay, this is an average, but this is what I've seen in a bunch of stores that I own and also that I manage. So this is kind of a rule of thumb that your conversion funnel, as described per Shopify, which starts with add to cart, and then you get to reach checkout, and then you have your actual conversion. Normally, it decreases by half. So if you end up with a 1.5% conversion rate, you go twice up. So you must have around 3%, maybe all the way up to 4% in reached checkout, so people that actually got to the checkout page. And then from there, you go twice again up, and you have maybe from 7 to 8% in add to cart. So if you go from the down up, you go twice. If you go from the top down, then you go halfways, okay? And that's normally how an e-commerce or DTC funnel behaves. So let's say that you have 10,000 visitors per month in this case. So that means that 8% of people are actually adding to cart, and just 4% of all of those are getting to checkout. So if you want to test these behaviors in customers, you are gonna end up with very, very little amount of data. In this case, we're talking about 800 people or 400 people, which again, it's not a bad thing, but your results are not gonna be that accurate with that little amount of data. So you want to focus on the more data you have. So this means that you want to focus on the sites or the pages within your site which have the most traffic, which in this case, when you're just starting, this normally means your homepage. Or if you have specific landing pages, let's say a product page, which you draw traffic into through ads, that becomes the landing page. So those ones are the ones that you want to focus on. And also, not only focus on those sites that already have more traffic within your store, but focus on the bigger elements, okay? Don't focus on little tiny things that you can do when you have more data available. Focus on your banner, okay? The design and the copywriting of your banner. Focus on your CTAs. So what does your button say? Like, the color of the button, the text of the button. Focus on those most important elements in your most important sites when you are in this range, okay? But again, I would strongly recommend still maybe in parallel do it while you are increasing. You have strategies for increasing your traffic, maybe through paid advertising, pay-per-click, maybe going a little heavier on email marketing, content marketing, affiliate marketing, referral marketing, whatever helps bringing more traffic into your site so you can have more available data to actually test. Now, let's say that you are in the next tier from 10,000 to 200,000 visitors per month. Okay, you are in the next level of traffic in these parameters that we set. In this case, you can actually start doing some more A/B testing a little further down the line. You can go to more specific sites, let's say your product pages, your collection or category pages. You can actually tweak a little bit down with this type of traffic or this amount of traffic. But just a tip, okay? You need to run tests a little longer. Okay, so the less data and the less traffic you have, we recommend that you run tests longer. So maybe you won't have results after a week. Maybe you have to run it for a couple of months so that you actually have, accurate measurements on your tests. So this is something that you have to keep in mind. The less traffic you have, run it a little bit longer. All right, so the next tier level of traffic is from 200,000 to 1 million visitors per month, okay? Not sessions, unique visitors per month. So in this case, you are getting really, really close to the sweet spot of A/B testing. If you reach this level of traffic, now the sites that have more traffic, your homepage, some of your product pages or landing pages where you can maybe collect, emails for your newsletter. These sites, with this amount of traffic, you will get very accurate measurements. Okay, so you can start being more confident of the tests that you run with this amount of traffic. Still, this is not a sweet spot for the bottom of your funnel, okay? The bottom of your funnel, so your checkout pages, your last minute, your last minute upsells and cross sells and all this stuff that goes after a person adds to cart or even reaches your checkout page. these pages maybe still have a little bit trouble of getting enough data so you can run actual tests. So again, with 200,000 visitors to 1 million, you still want to focus on the sites or the pages that already have a lot more traffic within your store. But now you can be a lot more confident, okay, that your results are accurate. Also, what I recommend if you are in this stage is that you focus on the things or the KPIs that will yield better results in your final conversion. For example, if you focus on people adding to carts, okay, how do I do it so more people add to cart? Because if you focus on the end of the funnel, you will not have enough data to run those tests, because remember, you start from 8% and you go all the way down to 1.5%. But if you focus on the 92% of the people that actually don't add to cart, and you focus on increasing the number of people that add to cart, where does that happen? Well, that happens maybe from your homepage, maybe from your product page. Okay, a lot of people after they get to the product page, they add to the cart. A lot of people do it directly from the homepage. If you have a product listings, like your top sellers, or your maybe your most important products in your homepage, a lot of people add to cart from homepage. So you want to focus on those people that so that the testing can actually get better results at the end of the funnel. Not the actual test, but your conversion rate, accordingly your revenue. So with less traffic, you want to focus on tests that will bring you the more benefits. Okay, don't focus on the little things. You still don't have enough data to focus on the little things. The little things become more important down the road. So let's say that now you have 1 million visitors per month. So at this point, no, traffic is not an issue. You're not worried about how to bring more people in. You probably already have your strategy really well oiled and automated to bring people from pay-per-click, from affiliate marketing, from referral marketing, and all those types of strategies. Now, so traffic is not an issue. Now you can really focus on the whole journey, how you can optimize your whole journey, still focusing on the pages that have the most traffic. But now in those pages, you can dial into more details. You can not only focus now on the banner, you can focus on maybe the small texts, which, believe me, they are important. I'm going to give you an example with one of my sites. So one of my stores, I sell Nootropics, which basically are supplements, dietary supplements for your brain. Okay, so you take them and you can focus a little bit better. You have a little more energy throughout the day. And even though this is something that has been going around for years, people are still like, really? Like that exists? They always travel to this Limitless movie where some guy takes a pill and now all of a sudden he knows how to do karate and solve all these like crazy problems. I mean, nootropics or dietary supplements are nowhere close to that, but you do still get some effects. Still is something really hard to believe for some people, even though there's like clinic studies and a lot of information. So when we first started doing the site, we thought that we had to focus on, like dumbing information down, let's say it. Okay, so keep it very simple, use very simple words, not nerd with information and with medical data and stuff like that. That's what we thought would help. But to our surprise, once we started running some recordings in our site, or heat maps, recordings are some sort of variant of a heat map. So we started analyzing what customers actually, the the customers that purchase our product, what they did before they purchase a product. And to our surprise, these people went to read, I mean, not actually read, but they clicked on where we had this all these medical facts and our sources where we got all this information. So people actually clicked on this site, and they went to where the articles were, and they didn't spend a lot of time in reading all that stuff. They just wanted to make sure that we had that information. So when we thought that we didn't want to nerd out with wording and with our like micro copywriting within our site, the users told us different. I mean, by this moment, we already have let's say substantial data, and we could also cross-reference with a lot of users that are already doing purchases within our site. So this made us change the whole structure of the site. So this is what I mean, that maybe at the beginning we could only focus on the banner, this one super catchy and sexy catchphrase to get people excited, for them to click on it and then land in the product page. And then the product page is the one that actually does the sales pitch, okay? With information, with the ingredients, with how to take it and all this stuff. But then, okay, now that we have more traffic, we can actually dial in and become like getting to more details on the words we use in our homepage, not only in the banner. So this is kind of how you evolve into A/B testing. When you start with just a little traffic, it's not bad, it's not bad. You're just starting maybe, okay? Or maybe your site will not get a lot of traffic because you're a B2B site. Well, in those cases, you can focus on the general stuff, on the banner, on the big CTAs, your call to actions, the main ones. Once you start getting more traffic, okay, you can start focusing on going down the funnel, and also focusing on smaller details that actually add up at the end. Like I said, they add up to your final conversion. So again, I mean, traffic, like we said at the beginning, traffic is important. Maybe it's the most important parameter that you want to know or you want to have prior to start doing A/B testing. But also, it's not a don't do it, There's stuff that you can do, obviously, like we said, bring more traffic in. But for me, and as we said in the first episodes, it's more about getting the culture in your company, in your organization, in your site, that if you run experiments since the beginning, okay, and you get that culture in, and you stop guessing around, okay. In this case, like I said, we didn't have enough traffic maybe at the beginning, but then we slowly had, and so then we began to test in our way, with our understanding. Okay, we began to test some stuff. We started with recordings, then we moved to heat mapping, and then we got to A/B testing. But we set in place the culture that everything that we change in our site, which in this case is a direct-to-consumer brand, we don't sell anywhere but in our site. We don't do retail, we only sell within our site. So this is the most important revenue stream, I mean, the only revenue stream in this company. So we need to set that culture of testing and experimenting and data collecting and analysis in every single decision we make. So I hope this helps, first of all, for you to understand where you're at and where you can focus on according on where you're at with your traffic. In the next episode, we're gonna start getting a little more in depth, okay? We're gonna start talking about, okay, I know that I'm here already. I know that I have this amount of traffic, or I know that I want to start A/B testing, hopefully. So in the next episode, we're gonna talk about where do I start? How do I start? And I also want to remind you that if you want to geek out on information and data, and you want to, fast forward all this, you can go to Convert.com, and we have tons, like literally tons of resources, in our blog, with articles, with just a lot of information, videos, whatever you can think of. We have it in Convert.com. So if you want to speed up this process, you want to learn more about A/B testing, just go to Convert.com. You'll find a lot more information there. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I did, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.